WCTV Eyewitness News. The Good Morning Show starts now.
All right, this is a live look right now at 6:30 the time. This is the Weatherstorm camera in Quitman, Georgia, the courthouse there in Brooks County. And the sun is coming up, looking real nice. The sky looks pretty good right now.
You know, the sky's clear enough this morning, by the way. There's something special going on in the sky. Maybe you can see it. There's like 5 planets and the moon all lined up out there. I haven't had a chance to, look for it, but I do know what's going on out there this morning. It's kind of neat. Doesn't happen all the time.
Right.
So if you get the chance, with the skies being as clear as they are, and it's not so hot out there just yet.
Just yet.
Maybe you go out there and take a peek.
Did you guys catch that?
Did
Just yet.
I snuck that one in there for you. Anyway, so there's something cool going on out there. That alignment of the 5 planets, if you can see it. Yeah, there you go.
Sounds pretty cool.
A little something for you. I'll talk forecast in a minute, but first, we've got some more breaking news to talk about. We're going to continue following TPD confirming that 2 people shot overnight in the area of Conklin Street and FAMU Way.
Our Michelle Roberts has been out there on the scene all morning long. Good morning, Michelle. Is there anything new that you can tell us?
Lenitra, Rob, you can see the scene is still very active out here, and TPD has been investigating since 1 p.m. on the 1100 block of Conklin Street. No arrests have been made yet. TPD is still searching for a suspect, and 2 men were injured in the shooting. They were taken to the hospital with serious but non-life-threatening injuries. Right now, Conklin Street is closed down, and that's near FAMU Way. And I've seen police on the scene searching around apartment buildings, and the shooting and TPD says the shooting happened after a party on Conklin Street. TPD tells me there's no other additional information at this time. The investigation is still open and active, and anyone with information is asked to contact TPD or Crime Stoppers, and we're working to learn more information, and we will bring you the latest throughout the day here on Eyewitness News and also on WCTV.tv. Back to you guys.
All right, thanks so much, Michelle. We appreciate you getting out there and bringing us that coverage.
All right, so as we take a look at the big board and those temperatures, lots of middle and upper 70s. It's kind of warm out there. 76s and 77s, the real popular numbers. Had a couple of sprinkles along the I-75 corridor very early this morning. There isn't much out there right now. I hope we can find some more showers in more spots this afternoon, and the sooner that happens, the better if we want to keep those temperatures from getting up over 100 for the 3rd straight day. I do think the shower chances are going to be a little higher today. I do expect the humidity to be a little higher today, so it's going to make it feel a little bit more icky, sticky, gross out there than even it did yesterday, and yesterday was kind of rough. I think we're going to be talking about one more day of those big heat temperatures, and then more unsettled, and better chances for more showers at more times during the day tomorrow. That should help to keep the temperatures down. After that, maybe we get to some typical late June kind of weather. Got plenty to break down with that full forecast. I'll have it in just a couple of minutes.
Well, today marks 1 year since the tragic condo collapse in Surfside. 98 people were killed when a portion of Champlain Towers South crumbled to the ground in the middle of the night. As Nicole Lauren shows us, families are still dealing with unanswered questions and heartbreak.
Sorry, it's tough to relive this.
Michael Noriega struggled revisiting the night his 92-year-old grandmother was killed, a larger-than-life person with an outsized imprint.
There's just this big void of love that was just constantly poured into my heart, into my family's heart.
Hilda Noriega and 97 others inside Champlain Towers South died when part of the 12-story condo collapsed in the middle of the night.
We weren't looking for anything.
Following the collapse, the Noriega family found precious mementos scattered in the street. This birthday card and family photos.
Those items are now, they're irreplaceable treasures that are invaluable to us.
Banners bearing the victims' names and ages border the site where the building once stood here on Collins Avenue. Family members are missing loved ones and answers.
I'm very disappointed that we still don't know why the building fell down.
Former Surfside Mayor Charles Burkett captured these images when he arrived on scene. He's frustrated with the investigation in the hands of the National Institute of Standards and Technology and not expected to conclude until 2024.
We've got residents of condos all throughout Surfside and all throughout Miami that are wondering if their building's going to fall down too.
Last month, Florida's governor signed a law requiring statewide recertification for condos over 3 stories. Critics say there aren't enough certified engineers in the state to meet that demand. A judge also approved a $1 billion settlement.
There's no amount of money that can ever replace the lost time.
Families mark this somber anniversary holding fast to memories as they still await answers. Nicole Lauren, CBS News, Surfside, Florida.
That settlement money will come from several sources, including insurance companies, engineering companies, and a luxury condominium recently built next door. But none of the parties admitting wrongdoing.
An ethics watchdog group sharing its perspective and calling for change in light of the indictments against Andrew Gillum and associate Sharon Letman Hicks. Integrity Florida says the charges against Gillum are a black eye to the city of Tallahassee, reinforcing a bad reputation. Research Director Ben Wilcox saying it appears some of Gillum's conduct overlapped in his time as mayor. An indictment alleges Letman Hicks funneled campaign and nonprofit donations to Gillum for personal use. This comes as former City Commissioner Scott Maddox, his associate Paige Carter-Smith, and businessman J.T. Burnett are all in federal prison on corruption convictions. Wilcox saying the pattern shows the city needs ethics reform before it can begin to rebuild its reputation. Now, as the fallout continues, Hicks is suspending her campaign for Florida House District 8, the announcement coming just days after she qualified to run. In a statement, she said she's devastated by the, quote, baseless charges and called the decision to suspend her campaign painful. She went on to question the timing of her arrest. You can read her full statement on our website, WCTV.tv. Former President Trump was calling top officials at the Department of Justice virtually every day to look into false claims of election fraud. That's according to new testimony from the House committee investigating January 6th.
Serena Marshall is on Capitol Hill with more details that came out during yesterday's hearing.
The House Select Committee investigating the January 6th attack used its 5th hearing of June to show how former President Trump wanted to use the Justice Department to legitimize his false claims of election fraud.
What I'm just asking you to do is just say it was corrupt and leave the rest to me and the Republican congressman.
The former president's own appointees at the DOJ refused and told him there was no fraud.
And he had this arsenal of allegations. I went piece by piece to say, no, that's false. That is not true.
Mr. Trump then tried to replace former acting Attorney General Jeffrey Rosen with Jeffrey Clark, the DOJ's environmental lawyer and a supporter of Mr. Trump's cause.
Listen, the best I can tell is the only thing you know about environmental and elections challenges is they both start with E.
Clark wanted the DOJ to push for a special legislative session in several states to overturn the election results. In an Oval Office meeting on January 3rd, top DOJ officials threatened to resign en masse if Clark was promoted.
No one is going to read this letter. All anyone is going to think is that you went through 2 attorneys general in 2 weeks until you found the environmental guy to sign this thing.
At the end of the hearing, the committee showed how several Republican congressmen asked for pardons.
The general tone was, we may get prosecuted because we were defensive of, the president's positions.
Clark, who was never named acting attorney general, invoked the Fifth Amendment more than 100 times during his deposition to the committee. Serena Marshall, CBS News, Washington.
Federal investigators raided Clark's home in Northern Virginia on Wednesday. It's unclear what they were looking for. The time now 6:38. Juul products are being pulled off shelves in the U.S. The FDA just made the call about the company's vape products yesterday. Federal health officials say the decision was based on Juul's application to market its products. Juul got a lot of attention after it was criticized for selling flavored vape products that were popular with teens. They stopped selling those in 2019, shortly before the FDA banned them altogether.
Time now for First Alert Weather with meteorologist Rob Nucatola.
One more really hot one on tap for today, and I think today we're going to add a little more humidity to it too. So Like yesterday, by 11 o'clock, those numbers pushing 90, by lunchtime getting close to 100, and then I think getting there, or at least trying to get there early this afternoon. The one thing that could be working in our favor, some showers going to try to develop. Hopefully they'll start sooner, not later, and then we can either prevent the temperatures from getting there in the first place or knock them down a little bit after being there for only a shorter period of time. We had parts of like 6 hours yesterday where those temperatures were up over 100 degrees. That's a lot of hot. Now, we've got some watches, some advisories out there for today. The heat advisory is when we expect that heat index to be up over 108, and that's for most of our area like it was yesterday. The combination of the heat plus the humidity is going to feel rough out there. But along the coast, and for most of Taylor County, Lafayette County, Dixie County, we've got the excessive heat watch, and that's where it's possible that heat index value can get up over 112. So more humidity, lots of hot, dangerous conditions. So if you're going to be outdoors, especially during those peak daytime heating hours, like 11 to 5, make sure you're listening to your body. You're taking the breaks. You're finding the shade. You're drinking that cold water. And if you can, find a few times to get a 10 or 15 minute break inside some air conditioning to really let that body temperature come down a bit. It's starting off at 80 in Cross City this morning, a bit on the warm side. Quincy, one of the cooler ones, at 73. Thomasville, we're at 75. Tallahassee starting off at 77. Not a lot of wind out there, but that breeze today is going to shift a little bit. More southwest and even towards the southeast. That's where some of that humidity comes from. And while I don't see a lot of fog out there this morning, a spot like Live Oak does have some reduced visibility. We're going to find more fog over the weekend. Now, a couple of sprinkles on the I-75 corridor late last night was nice. I think we can get more of those at times today. Pretty good chances for especially eastern areas to see showers today, but even better chances for everybody to see some shower opportunities tomorrow and maybe even into Sunday. So more rain chances over the weekend, more clouds. That should keep the temperatures down. So we got to deal with this heat one more time for today. Now, there is a little bit of energy coming off the coast of Africa. We've got our eyes on it. Doesn't look like it's doing anything right away, but there is at least a chance over the next 5 to 7 days for some development, maybe about a 50-50 chance. So we'll certainly keep our eyes on it. A good reminder that we're at that point in the year now where some things do start to develop. On the Gulf, a little bit more breezy today. Winds out of the west and southwest, 12 to 22. This morning, it's 70s and 80s. This afternoon, probably near 100, but I think we get a couple of shower opportunities to knock those temperatures down. Tonight, it's mid-70s, it's muggy, and it's going to be a little bit more foggy tomorrow morning. I do see better chances to get wet tomorrow. We need it. And then maybe we can actually have some typical seasonable late June weather starting Sunday.